Humans, I am your herald of the gods. Look at it. Then look at it. Now look at me. Yeah. And welcome to the Culture Guys channel. It's your boy Mike Nix, and we back with another episode of The Penguin. Man, I cannot express to you enough how much I love this show. We on episode 7. It starts off where the last one left off. Vic and Oz's mom are dancing in the living room. They happy, celebrating this shitty ass apartment because Oz has, basically made things comfortable in this apartment. He got the electricity cut back on. They got money, his operations going, everything is moving. He got motion. But of course, as soon as Oz got motion, what I said in the last video, as soon as Oz gets some motion, somebody fuck it up. So Sophia found out where Vic and Oz and them was holed up, and she kidnaps Oz's mom, and now she knocked Vic out, and Oz gets home, finds Vic on the floor. He's bleeding and shit. He don't even know where the fuck he at. And actually, this episode did not focus as much on Vic this time. They kind of gave Vic a break. So he had like one little appearance in the beginning, and then they got him up out of there. At that point, Sophia has kidnapped Oz's mom, and they, before we get to that part though, it actually starts with a flashback. So we diving deeper into Oz's background as a kid, and Oz has 2 brothers. He has a younger brother and an older brother. Oh, I'm sorry. He has 2 older brothers, if I'm not mistaken. And it's Jack and Benny. And his 2 older brothers and his mom, it was just them living together. They was living in the slums and the projects, and there was, they all, for the most part, got along. But Oz has a very, very close relationship with his mom. And I want you to say it with me, kids. Enmeshment. I'll say it again. Enmeshment. It is when a mother and son have a very close relationship with each other where the lines are blurred, if you catch my drift, where it's almost like they're codependent on each other and they're so close that it's almost incestuous. Look it up, kids. The word of the day: enmeshment. So there's a very close relationship between Oz and his mom. Of course, you can tell. Him and his brothers, they get along for the most part, but you can tell Oz is fucked up. At this point, he's got the limp. He's got the brace on his leg, so he's got the penguin walk and everything. He's chubby, but his mom loves him to death. But, and his brothers, it seemed like his brothers love him too, but they kind of pick on him a little bit too, at the same time. And, but they're brothers, right? So they ride together and they out in the streets, there's a little hustler, not a little hustler, but there's the neighborhood hustler, gangster on the block, He's giving them money every once in a while. That's kind of how they making ends meet. And I believe that he has something to do with Oz's mom, like either they fucked or they date or something, or she's one of his girls, one of the 2. I don't know. They didn't really dive that deep into it yet. But anyway, turns out Oz was playing around with his brothers, and they're down in the sewer for some reason playing in this underground tunnel. And Oz is so I guess enamored and obsessed with his mom, and he wants his mom's love all to himself, so much so that whenever he sees that his brothers are getting that type of love from his mom, he gets real jealous. So they're playing around, and they're playing like tag or hide and go seek in this little tunnel or whatever the case is. He ends up locking them in there and goes back home. Okay, so he's at the crib chilling. Now he's got his mom all to himself. Again, kids, enmeshment. So now he's got his mom all to himself, and his mom was like, "Yo, where your brothers at?" And He's like, oh, they went to the movies. You know what I'm saying? They got some bread from that nigga that, you know what I'm saying, that be breaking us off every once in a while, a little money. Yeah, he gave him some money, and they went to the movies, but it's just me and you. We can watch the movies. So mom was like, okay, cool. Let's, cuddle up on the couch, watch movies, and you can tell Oz is content. You know, he got his mom to himself, and they chilling watching TV. Boom. Okay, so then it starts raining. And you can hear the brothers, they keep panning to the brothers. The brothers are trying to, they're screaming for help, you know what I'm saying, banging, trying to get out of there, but he done locked them down in there. It starts raining and it gets flooded and they end up getting killed. So it turns out Oz killed his two brothers. In the early stages, in the first couple of episodes, they talked about, he would mention his brothers, or whenever his brothers would mention, I noticed that he would always get a little attitude about it. Like he didn't want to talk about it. Like, the brothers are dead. Like, stop tripping off it, mama. Like, get over it. You know what I'm saying? That's why. Then to further explain Oz's mom's relationship with him, and why she keeps always saying, hey, Oz, you're my boy, and you're gonna take care of me, right? And then he's always like, mama, I promise you this, that, and third. It starts. They show this scene kind of where this started at. Once she realizes that her other sons are dead. Just fast forward to a little bit further down the line. Oz, she comes out of her room. She's dressed in this, ball gown. You know what I'm saying? It's this the freakum dress basically. And she tells Oz like, hey, get dressed. We're going dancing. Okay, cool. Boom. So Oz puts his little tux on or whatever, and they go out to this ballroom dancing, this little little spot, little joint, and they dancing and shit. And she basically tells him, like, there's a scene where it's like she's talking to him like he's her man. Like she's like, hey, Oz, you all I got now, and you're my little man. You gotta promise me that you'll do anything to take care of me because you're all I got. And this, that, and the third. It's like it gets real enmeshment in that scenario. You know what I'm saying? It's almost kind of awkward, like, but low key. If I could parallel this for a second and we pull out into reality, I do know some people in real life that that have, sons, and their relationships with them are questionable. You know what I'm saying? And I personally know some people who have a son and then daughters, and they treat their son way different than they treat the girls or the girl. You know what I'm saying? And I always wondered, what that's about. But it's a thing. It's a real thing. But neither here nor there, or both here and there. It was a real weird scenario. And but it gives you a setup to show you why they are that close. And she's broken. She's fucked up. She's never had anything. She comes from the slums. She was a hoe. You know what I'm saying? And she's raising her boys the best she can, but you can tell it's something ain't right upstairs because she's got this thing where she looks at her son now as her man. Like, you're gonna take care of me. She even like leans in on him and does his hug on his shoulder and shit like that. And in his sexy dress and all that. And of course, Oz, being too young to know any better and in love with his mom, you know what I'm saying? He falls right in there. So pause. Enmeshment. All right. Flash forward to the present. Sal catches up with Oz, and basically he's like, yo, we got your mama. Sophia got your mom's. You know what I'm saying? You son of a bitch. Take me to the trap. So he takes him to the trap, you know what I'm saying? And Oz, this type of dude, is like, he's ready to crash out for his mama. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, okay, whatever it takes for me to get my mama back, I'll take him down to this spot where I got my little operation. And you know what I'm saying? And I'll figure it out from there. He gets down there. He has Salvatore and his homeboys come down there with him. And he forces them to show him where it's at. So they get down to the little operation and everything. And then one of Oz's homeboys cuts the lights. And then fighting, breaks out. And now it's just Oz and Sal together in this little room or whatever, Oz's little office or whatever. And they fighting each other. And Sal gets a heart attack and he dies. You know what I'm saying? And you can see Oz is a psychopath, clearly, because he killed his two brothers just so he can have his mama's love all to himself. Enmeshment. And then he doesn't, well, Sal dies in the fist fight with Oz. Oz got them hands low key. But when Sal falls and dies from the heart attack, Oz puts like 5 or 6 more in him, you know what I'm saying? He bop, 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 pew, pew, you know what I'm saying? And just done. So Sal is gone. So the Maronis, for the most part, are now completely wiped out. Because remember, Oz burnt up Sal's wife and his son. So now Oz steps out, you know what I'm saying? All of Sal and Sal's bodies are laying around. He gives a quick little speech to his crew, and he's like, yo, look what we did, man. You know what I'm saying? You protected the family. I protected y'all. We good. But it's one more trick up Sophia's sleeve. So Sophia got Oz's mom, and they talking back and forth. But you know, Oz's mom is a gangster. So like Sophia ain't scaring her for real. She like, yeah, man, bitch, what you gonna do? Like, you gonna kill me? If you gonna kill me, you would have killed me by now. You know what I'm saying? So Sophia sets it up to like, you know, Oz is like, yo, I done killed Sal. Where's my mama? You know what I'm saying? Where's Mama Dukes? And so Sophia answers the phone, is like, yo, okay, well, you know, we can set something up where, you know, Oz is like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I got the, you know, the drugs and the operation and all that, you know what I'm saying? You come up down here, bring my mama, and all of this is yours. I know you wanted to take over the city. You want to take over Gotham. You want to be queen of Gotham. It's all yours. Just give my mama back. So he's waiting. She pulls up in the truck, you know what I'm saying? But mama's not inside the truck. There's a bomb in the truck. Now, where I think it's kind of fucked up is Oz gets to the back of the truck thinking that his mama's in there and it's a bomb. And instead of telling everybody, his crew, to get out of there, he just kind of makes a dash for it and gets up out of there himself and leaves the crew to blow up. So he runs, half the fucking city block just explodes underground. And then he comes out at the end. Sal catches him. And you know what I'm saying? That's the end of the episode right there. So he comes out from the rubble and the explosion and everything. And Sal, I'm tripping. One of Sophia's goons is right there. And I guess they take him. And that's where the episode cuts off. And I think there's one more episode left of this season. I think it's 8 episodes. So far, man, I'm loving the Penguin. I'm loving how they're breaking down and opening up his character and his background more, because we never really got to see, we did get to see the Penguin a little bit in Batman Returns, you know, the Tim Burton movie. But I mean, that it's not even canon anymore at this point. You know what I'm saying? Danny DeVito did his thing, low key, but this is a much more mature, psychotic version set up for Oz. And this is what we've needed, because the Batman villains just seem like a bunch of goofy, silly goons running around with colorful costumes and shit. And the Penguin to me was always like the lowest tier of the villains, because all he had was his fucking umbrella. But like Batman, one good right hook from Batman and the nigga's out. You know what I'm saying? But this kind of shows that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. You know what I'm saying? He is nothing to fuck with when it's all said and done. But we will see by the end of the season what you think about the Penguin episode 7. Let me know in the comment section, or not. Either way, I'll see you on the next video. And you better pull up on me. Don't do it for me. Do it for the God.